The news that took social media by storm. Tiger Woods on the road to recovery, driver in hand. His agent Mark Steinberg said Tiger met with his doctor last week, got a good report saying he can proceed down the path to continue to hit golf balls with no restrictions. He's going to take that news with enthusiasm, but caution as well. With the two T's, Tripp and Tim. Rosie, let's start with you. What are you hearing about when we might actually see Tiger Woods in the PGA Tour?
Went up to Medalist on Friday and Saturday afternoon late to hit some balls, and no, I wasn't shooting the videos, but I was listening to some of my buddies talk about how Tiger had been up here in the morning usually to hit balls, late in the day to play some golf. And we checked in with Steinberg as well today. Didn't really say anything different other than too early to discuss any comeback, taking it slow. But when you hear the news, you see the videos, it's hard not to get excited about what the potential is there, especially after he's been in team environments. You know he's excited, wants to play golf again. But frankly, we've been here before. We've talked about him hitting balls at Medalist the last couple of years. It hasn't played out. He's much healthier than he had been, what I'm told. He's in a better shape physically. But again, it's tournament golf, Tripp. You know it better than anybody. There's walking, there's day after day, hole after hole. There's long days on your feet. It's different than obviously going out to the club and playing some holes by yourself.
And this long an absence from competitive golf, there's that huge chasm for even as someone as talented as Tiger Woods to get through, and that's the ability to put down a number under tournament conditions. It's completely different than playing at home, and we've seen it over the years now with Tiger Woods. He's playing well at home or he's doing well there. He goes out and he does not look good on the golf course. He's shooting poor numbers. He's making a lot of mistakes, a lot of bogeys. The sad thing for Tiger Woods is he's going to be under the microscope. I mean, when he shows up, he's going to be there, and he's not going to be able to be obscure and shoot a couple of 75s without a bunch of questions. And I think that's kind of what needs to happen, because I don't think he's going to walk right out and start shooting 65s. Obviously, looking at the swing, there's a difference. His body does not move like it did before. He looks like a guy who's had 4 back surgeries and is in his 40s, by the way. So it's going to be different. He's going to have to play golf differently. We've been saying this now for a number of years. So if Tiger Woods understands that he's got to go about attacking the golf course differently, he cannot blow the fields away with his distance. He's got to get a little bit more crafty, and there's always the issue with the short game that's in the back of his mind, I'm sure. He's got, you know, when you go through that with chipping, it's very difficult to get through. There are those that say you never get through it. I have seen players get through it, but it's a very difficult time. The good news is we're seeing Tiger with a golf club in his hands. Let's hope we see him on a golf course very soon under tournament conditions, because we all want that.
Georgie, and we do. And I'm playing a long game with him just in the hope that it does happen, because I think it'd be an incredible story. And, you know, you go in that U.S. team room, and the players in that room want him to play so bad. I mean, they want to compete against him. They want to see him out there again because they grew up watching him. He's their hero, their idol, and it would be wonderful for the game. Even though the game's in great shape right now, with this extra dimension, if Woods was out there at 41, 42, whatever it is, as long as he takes his time, goes out there healthy, it would just be another dimension to the game that doesn't need it, but at the same time would be such a boost.
And we've got a question later in the show that we're posing. What do you think will happen first? Phil Mickelson gets another one on the PGA Tour. Tiger Woods makes a start, which we're all hopeful Tiger's trending in that direction, but we're going to save that for alternate shot. Speaking of PGA Tour, for the second straight week, they're in Asia, the CJ Cup making its debut on the schedule in South Korea. Some of the headlines to keep in mind: CJ Cup at 9 Bridges, the first event by the PGA Tour sanctioned in South Korea, and there's definitely some star power. Justin Thomas, Jason Day, Patrick Reed, Adam Scott, some of your headliners in the field this week. Plus, talk about possibly cashing in. This is the second highest purse in the PGA Tour outside of the majors and WGCs. All right, Rosie, I know the PGA Tour issued kind of a security directive. What exactly went into that?
Well, it's 360 miles basically from Jeju Island, which is off the southern tip of Korea, to North Korea, and we all know what's been going on percolating there. So I checked in with some players playing down at in Malaysia last week. Lucas Glover, yes, I inquired. The tour sent out a very detailed release about security and all issues, so he didn't have an issue as he made the trip up there on the charter. Charles Howell, first trip to Korea for him. For sure he had concerns, but he checked in with Danny Coulson. Danny, you know, former FBI agent, consultant for the tour as it relates to security. And Andy Pazder, who's in this country, not traveling over, Executive Vice President, Chief of Operations to the tour, went into some of the, not the details, but their security team has been to Korea, been to the venue, has been in close contact with the U.S. State Department and the U.S. Embassy in South Korea, with the FBI. At this point in time, we feel very good about having the event. We feel like players in that environment should not cause any concerns about safety or well-being. We'll see. Hopefully that's the end game.
It seems like they were just wanting to get out in front of that so guys have a clear-cut perspective of what they're dealing with going in.
Exactly, and this is a big, huge week for the tour. We discussed this great sponsor, obviously a corridor that they want to make advances in. So,
100%.
They want to have the players there happy and not worried about potential dangers that area brings right now.
All right, well, still ahead in the show, the U.S. team has won 3 straight team competitions in a row. What's been the key to their success? The answer next. And we're looking at the best so far this decade in the Ryder Cup. This is Golf Central.